China Juju. So like, guys, we are finally in the Netherlands now. Hi, Justa. We have arrived. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. If you are new here, hi and welcome. My name is Natasha and I hope you do become a part of this beautiful family just by clicking the red subscribe button below. If you are returning, thank you so much, and I'm super excited to be sharing the news that I'm going to share with you guys today. But yeah, anyways, so some big news to share on this video is that my family and I are relocating. I may sound a bit down, but that's only because I'm super exhausted, guys. It has nothing to do with the big and great news that I'm here to share with you guys. Okay, I need to stop saying but yeah, anyways, so we are relocating, and we're not just relocating outside PE or outside the Eastern Cape or outside our province. We are literally leaving South Africa. We are relocating to Europe, and it's super exciting. To be specific, we are relocating to the Netherlands. So I've known this since, okay, first of all, we are now in January. Today is the 25th of January, payday. Today's the 25th of January, payday, and it's my last week at work. Sorry, and with that being said, we're in the preparations for our relocation. So I've known this since November last year. To cut a very long story short, my partner got a job. Well, my partner was looking for like better employment since like the beginning of 2022. And he went through a lot of disappointment, and he went through a lot of, rejection when it came to jobs. Like, he went through quite a number of interviews. To be specific, he went to 6 interviews last year. Got to a point whereby they even gave him, an offer, and there was always just something that was not satisfying for him, in the sense that you find that the job is great, but maybe the salary is not good, or the other way around, or maybe the company itself is not really something that he sees himself settling into. There was just something that, was actually putting him off when it came to the job, or some jobs he just never got a response back. So he has been going through that last year, and it was a very challenging year for him, especially for me to watch him go through all of that, because I am one person who knew exactly what he was going through in terms of, his employment, and how unhappy he was where he was, and how he really wanted to, get a better opportunity and be in an environment where he's going to find fulfillment and, all of that. Then he went for his 7th interview. And you know how the number 7 biblically is the number of completion. He went for his 7th interview. How it happened was that there's a guy who contacted him on LinkedIn, and long story short, they communicated, told him about an offer that was available. He had a meeting with him, then he passed him over to the company itself. He had an interview with the company, his first interview with the company. And I remember when he went through his first interview, and we discovered that obviously the job was, overseas. We were actually joking about it, and we started, planning about what we're going to do when we get there, how our lives are going to be, what we're going to buy. And we started watching videos on YouTube, of, people, from different types of countries, especially people from Africa who've moved to the Netherlands, just to get a feel and a bit of insight of, you know, how it is to live there. At that time, we don't even know if it's going to happen, you know. And the part that makes me laugh when I think about it, I'm like, in hindsight, we were actually speaking things into existence, and, you know, the seed was already planted. So we were just basically speaking ourselves into the blessing, you know. So we made jokes about it, and little did we know that that was going to be our life, you know, and it was going to come to life itself. So he went through the second phase of his interview. He passed that, and I think sometime in November, he got a call from the recruitment agent, and he told him that he got the job. Guys, best news ever. Like, as if 2022 couldn't be, you know, better enough, and then that had to just top everything off, guys. Like, that was the highlight. That was one of the highlight. If you follow me on Instagram, you're gonna know that so many beautiful things happened in my life in 2022, and irregardless of what happens in the next coming years, I think that year will always be the best year of my life. You know, if you follow me on Instagram, you'll know why I say what I say. If you don't, I'd suggest you do, or check out my Instagram profile. You understand why I say it is the best. It was the best year of my life. So yeah, anyways, we were in shock, guys. We couldn't believe it, and it was a thing of, I think at first we thought, like, it felt like I was dreaming, and I hadn't really, you know, accepted it or come to terms with it or processed it. I think as the days went by, as the weeks went by, and even after he got his contract, I think that's when things got like realer, that okay, this is like real, this is happening, you know. And we didn't rush to tell anyone in our family, even our friends, because we were trying to process the news first and try and figure out if this is really a move that we want to make. Because moving to a different state, a different country, is not like moving to another city or another town, you know, within your country. I mean, it's already overwhelming enough to move to another town or another city that you're not used to, you've never stayed in. Now imagine having to move to another country. I mean, South Africa is all that we have ever known. Now it's like a thing of you moving to another country that you've never known at all, you know. So it's something that we needed to process. We needed to weigh our options. We needed to, you know, think about the pros and the cons. And, you know, after deliberating and thinking about it and processing it, we finally came to a conclusion that for the growth of our family, you know, the quality of life, and generally for our careers, it would be best for us to make the move. So he signed the contract, and the rest is history. So we are currently in the process of preparing for our relocation, but it hasn't been easy, guys. Like, it's been so challenging, very challenging. So firstly, we found out about the whole relocation thing a month after our son was born. And when we went to do our son's birth certificate, we made a mistake. Well, I made a mistake, and I wrote his father's place of birth incorrectly. So I wrote my boyfriend's place of birth incorrectly, basically. It was supposed to be Bloemfontein, and then I wrote Port Elizabeth. So we actually only realized that it was incorrect when we were in the process now of, you know, submitting our documentation for the whole relocation thing, for our visas, application for family visas and all of that. And then we had to go and redo it. My goodness, guys, it was a nightmare. You know, vele in South Africa, anything that has to do with the state, nje, kubone, like hospitals, nje, Home Affairs, Department of Labor, anything that has to do with the state, service level is -0, -0. So I remember when we first got there for the first time, and we told them that we wanted to fix the birth certificate. They told us that they've never come across such a situation where they have to fix like the place of birth, an incorrect place of birth. So they need to inquire, I think with a manager or something like that. So we should come back once the manager is there. Then we went there the second time, guys. No, I'm lying. And then as we were walking out, as I was walking out, actually I went alone. Then as I was walking out, the manager walks in, and then they call me back, and then she tells me that no, I can't fix it alone. I need to come with my child's father to fix it. Then long story short, I went there with my boyfriend the second time, and then they tell us that no, this is not something that they can fix. They need to check the SOP, standard operating procedure, to check how it's supposed to be done. They've never come across such a situation or scenario. They need to also consult with head office. Cool, we should come back again. We came back the third time. Then they tell us no, they're still waiting for head office to let them know what must happen. Guys, at that time we were like this. And I remember my partner has already applied for his visa. His visa got approved. So now the onboarding assistant is waiting for our documents so that she can apply for our family visa. So now basically our visa is on standstill. Nothing can be done because we're waiting for what? We're waiting for the birth certificate to be fixed. And the biggest mistake that we did was that we went and we made the baby's passport. And then we realized when the passport came back, because he's still an infant, on the back of his passport was a page that had both me and my boyfriend's details, our ID numbers and names and surnames. Apparently they do that for infants because of this whole human trafficking and whatever. So they need to have the parents' details at the back so that when you're traveling with the child, you can also present your ID or passport and they can see that you are the mother of the child. So long story short, the passport came back and it was also incorrect. Now we have to fix the birth certificate and we have to fix the passport. But now we can't fix the passport without the birth certificate being fixed first. Guys, it was a nightmare. It's been a nightmare actually, because we are still in the process of completing that whole fixing story. But I think after 4 or 5 visits at the Home Affairs, eventually we managed to get the birth certificate fixed. And you know, God's grace, guys, it continues to amaze me because they said it might take 3 months. But surprisingly, it only took like a month for them to eventually fix it. And I remember when we went to check on it, I was like, cringing and just praying to God. I'm like, I really hope this thing can get resolved, because initially we wanted to be able to go together, leave South Africa together as a family. But because of the delays that have happened because of baby's birth certificate and his passport, we're going to have to basically leave at separate times, which is not a train smash, but it's also sad. So yeah, we managed to fix that, and then we managed to do his passport. So we are currently waiting for his passport now. We should receive it probably by today or tomorrow or Friday. Yes, sometime this week. And then once we get that, and then our onboarding assistant is going to be able to apply for our family visa. And then once that's applied for, hoping that it won't take longer than 2 months, but looks like it could be approved in a month. Can happen even after 2 months, but we don't know. But I'm praying and crossing fingers that it gets approved at least in the next month. So yeah, that's what's happening. So we're waiting for his passport. Once we received that, our family visa can be applied for. Then we just wait. My partner's stuff are all sorted. He got his approval. He's got his MVV appointment with the Dutch embassy in Cape Town on the 7th of Feb. So he's going to go to Cape Town for that. We're going to live together as a family. And then after that, we're going to travel to Bloemfontein. He's going to spend some time with his parents. And then from there, he's going to go to Johannesburg and take a flight to the Netherlands. Then we're going to come back to PE. And I'm going to have to finish off the sale of our house items because we obviously had to sell everything. Well, we decided to sell everything because having to transport everything to the Netherlands was going to be very expensive, and it's really pointless because we don't want to be taking stuff that are going to end up being too much of a burden. Maybe they get there and they're damaged, they're not in a good condition once they get there, and then we have to repurchase. So we don't want to waste money in that sense. So we just decided to sell everything, and then we're going to start afresh and buy everything when we're that side. So yeah, that's what we're currently going through, guys. Super exciting news. I know I may sound like, what do they call it, non-calent or whatever, like ngathi ndipholelwe. No, andipholelanga, guys. I'm super excited, but I'm super exhausted at the same time because our weeks have been so busy. Because what's been happening is that, first of all, I only had 2 months of maternity leave. Then the other 2 months I had to work, even though it's been a half-day work, obviously with half pay, which is sad, but I still do work extra hours, that I don't get paid for, but yeah, because I need to get my work done. So I work during the day, and then after that we need to sort out whatever documents we need to sort out. We are constantly up and down, at the home affairs, we're at the police station, doing everything that needs to be done. We've got a lot of documents that we need to complete, like on a weekly basis. Guys, one thing I must let you know, guys, relocation documents for your visa and all of that, it's a lot. And then on Mondays, we've got Dutch classes because we need to learn to speak Dutch, especially my boyfriend, because he's going to be working in a Dutch company, and he needs to at least be familiar with the general words, just have a bit of knowledge of the language, just the basics, So we've got Dutch classes Mondays and Wednesdays. Then during the week, we have to do homework for the Dutch classes. Then on Saturdays, we've got swimming classes because a certain part of the Netherlands, right? Yes, is kind of like below sea level. So you need to be able to swim, basically. Should anything happen, God forbid, but should anything happen, at least you must be able to survive on water or swim to wherever you might need to swim to. So we decided to go for swimming classes. Well, can you imagine, yo? And on top of that, we've got baby to take care of. We've got relocation preparations. We're having to sell our stuff. Guys, it's a lot. Like, exhausted. Like, I'm so exhausted. At this point, I just can't wait to finish work this week so that at least I've got -1 thing to have to, attend to. -1 stress. I know that at least now, after I'm done with work, I'm just taking care of baby, and then I'm just, literally just focusing on our relocation preparations. But yeah, guys, I'm so grateful to God. I'm so grateful to God, guys. We are so grateful to God as a family. Like, guys, if only you knew how God has been so gracious. Like, yeah, I remember when my boyfriend told me about this whole job and interview. I just knew deep down that he was going to get it because I knew that this was it. All the no's that he experienced, all the, rejection, all the other job interviews that didn't go well. And for this one to come and, be such a big opportunity, I knew for sure God was like, this is why you had to go through all those no's, because I was preparing you something bigger. We were just thinking small, and God is like, nah, fam, bigger, So super excited about this opportunity. Super scared also, like so overwhelmed. There's just too much happening. Everything is just happening so fast. I'm like, God, after this, please, I need to catch a break. Because last year, we bought a house, and then after buying a house, you fell pregnant. After falling pregnant, I was busy with school, and then I gave birth, and then I finished school, finally finished my degree. And then after that, during the course of the year last year, also I got a job, started a new job. Like, there was just always something big happening in my life, consecutively. And then it was this, So I'm just like, okay, God, please, I'm really grateful and I'm really happy. But after Lena ngicela nje noko undiphe ithutyana ndikwazi ubethwa ngumoya yabo. I'm just praying to God that he can just give me a break, after this. Not that I'm complaining about the blessings or anything like that, but I'm just like, yo, like it's becoming too overwhelming now, everything that I'm going through. So yeah, guys, that's what's been happening in our lives. So we're super excited. I'm gonna show you guys. Our house is currently a mess, guys. I think you can even see from my eyes that I'm so sleepy. Our house is currently a mess. It was worse than this, but because I've got OCD, I cleared it up a bit. But I think I'm at that point now. I'm just like, you know what? It is what it is. I can't control it, and it's just one of those things, Zoba. This is how our life is going to be for quite a while. Preparing to relocate, so it's gonna be, the house is gonna be upside down at the end of the day. It's not gonna be perfect. What's up, guys? Sorry. I'm actually feeding my baby. He doesn't like sudden sounds, or sudden noise rather. So he gets like shocked when you make a sudden noise, and then he's just like looking at you like, what you doing? But yeah, hi guys. Today is the 31st of January 2023. And guys, need to tell you something funny. I actually shot a clip yesterday about what happened yesterday. But then I think it got cut off in the middle, and then I thought I was going to finish it off, and then I didn't. So it was just all over the place. So I thought, okay, you know what? Let me just shoot a proper clip today, because I think I also shot it when I was too busy. I was all over the place. So it was also just not right. But then today I was like, okay, I know today I'm going to have a bit of time that I can actually quickly pop out my phone and quickly shoot. So today's the 31st of January. Today was my last day at work. Yes, super excited. I think it's starting to become real now that we are actually leaving. So I just got back from work. I got here at like 6 minutes. No, I'm lying. I got here at like 20 past 11 in the morning. I had my exit interview at 10 a.m. It was for an hour, and then I handed my laptop and everything back. Then I quickly popped into my office, and I just said my last goodbyes to my colleagues, which was so sad. But yeah, anyway, so in yesterday's clip I was basically telling you guys that yesterday I had to go to work because my colleagues had prepared a bit of like a goodbye lunch type of like thing. They had like nice finger foods / platters, and then we had that. And then I just said my goodbyes, and then also some of them wanted to see the baby. Sorry. Oh gosh, motherhood. Okay, so I had to quickly put my son down because he was, that sounds so weird, my son down. But yeah, he was breastfeeding, so he was done. Then I was like, okay, the only way I'm going to be able to finish this video, I think it's best that I put him down. Let me just quickly fix this. Earlier on, I had my phone in my hand, and I was struggling because it was starting to become heavy. But yeah, I've put it on my tripod now so I can talk properly. So as I was saying, yesterday, we got some really great news. Our son's passport was ready for collection at the Home Affairs in Motherwell. So after work, I quickly drove straight there, and I collected his passport. I was so impressed. This time, there was no mistakes. There was nothing that really made me stay there for a long time. I literally just got there, submitted his ID number, they looked for it, found it, I signed for it, and I was gone. I was just like, you know what? In fact, God's delay is not his denial. So I got his passport, and then I drove to Woolies to buy him some warm clothes because I know the Netherlands is very cold. So I decided to go and get him some warm clothes. Stuff are quite pricey that side, so I thought it's best that I get him as much as I can in South Africa because obviously it's cheaper. So I got him some stuff, and then I drove back home. But the point that I want to share about that, the reason why I'm sharing that part of me going to Woolies to get him winter clothes, is that, isn't it yesterday he also went, oh, I'm lying, I actually first went to get his immunization done. He got his 14-week immunization yesterday, and then I drove to work for my farewell tapalak lunch. Then from there I went to Endo, Home Affairs the Woolworths, Home Affairs the Woolworths, Home Affairs the Motherwell, and then from Motherwell I went to Woolies. So I think he was already like tired by that time and he just wanted to rest. Does he not cry hysterically while I'm driving, guys? And in the freeway. And the worst part was that it was during load shedding time. So it traffic it in. You, guys, my heart. And I was frustrated and angry, but at the same time, I understand. I understand the baby's tired, he's agitated, and he's going through that phase where he just wants to feel you around him. He doesn't necessarily become clingy on you. Like, he doesn't mind sitting on the couch and watching some cartoons or playing with his toys, ne? But he wants to see you, he wants to feel you, you know, check on him every 5 minutes, give him a kiss. He's in that needy phase, yabo. So I think he's going through separation anxiety also. So I think he was just like, he just had enough, you know. He was like, this is too much traveling, I'm not seeing your face, I can't feel you next to me. So he just cried hysterically, guys. And I was just like, motherhood, ne? Don't know how strong you are. If you don't know how resilient you are, motherhood will show you, guys. So yeah, anyways, I had to stop the car, by the way, in a random place. I literally just had to find a parking. I stopped, I fed him, calmed him down. I thought, okay, maybe he's also feeling too hot because it was quite warm, and I dressed him warm because when we left here it was cold, like PE weather. It was cold, so I dressed him warm. So I was like, okay, maybe overshush. So namkulula, and then I fed him, then I put him back in his car seat. Little man was like, that's not what I want. And I'm just over it. He was just over it. So I literally had to speed, which is not right, I know, but I had to speed because we're going to fetch his dad from work, speed to my partner's work. And then when I got there, I calmed it down. Guys, the way my child was crying, he even had into isngala. I don't know what you guys call isngala in other languages, but he had that. Yo, my heart, guys. I felt like crying. Like, I think I did cry a bit. And yo, guys, motherhood is not for the faint-hearted, guys, at all. Honestly, when you go into motherhood. But yeah, anyways, that's what happened yesterday. So super excited. We are finally able to apply for our family visa. So I'm actually literally on my Gmail, busy with that at the moment. I'm gonna quickly submit the last documents that we needed to submit. So yeah, guys, I'm so excited. Like, I'm so excited. I think I'm really happy today and excited. Also because it was my last day at work. Child, can you see the exit glow? No, I'm just joking, guys. But yeah, I'm really happy about that. Honestly, only because I feel like I've been juggling too many things at one time, and at some point I feel like I'm gonna burn out or I'm gonna like shut down. So I'm really, really happy that at least one stress has been lifted off my shoulders, and now I can focus on other things, you know, like taking care of my son properly, and also just focus on our relocation preparations and the admin that has to happen because of that. So yeah, I'm really happy. And I think I've mentioned before that my work is very, very stressful and demanding. So I think I was slowly losing my mind a bit, juggling everything. So I'm really happy because of that. At least now I can focus on other things. And I know work is not going to stress me out anymore. And also, I'm really happy that I'm done with work, because now it also means I can rest. Because the problem that I was facing is that when baby was asleep, I had to try and catch up with work instead of me sleeping when he's asleep. You get me? So even at night, when I put him down to sleep, instead of me sleeping and resting, I'd literally have to come to the living room and try and catch up on work. So I'm really glad that from today at night when he sleeps, I'm going to bed. And at least this is the last part of our documents that we need to submit. So once this is done, I am a free woman, like in the hip. I don't know why I'm doing this, guys. And there's the but I really like it. But yeah, anyways, I'm gonna catch you guys in the next clip. I don't know what's gonna be happening in the next clip, but carry on watching. Shab. Hey guys, welcome back to another clip. So today is I think today is a Tuesday, and we are currently in Cape Town. My partner has his MVV appointment with the Dutch consulate / Dutch embassy. So from the previous clip, I think what happened there was, I think the last clip I posted was me informing you guys. Okay, I don't remember. But basically, from then, what happened was that there were some new developments, some disappointing ones, some sad ones, but some exciting ones. So we discovered that our birth, okay, we didn't discover, but our onboarding assistant did notify us, but I think we literally just didn't, I think it slipped our minds, rather, that we needed to, our birth certificates needed to have an apostilled stamp. So for those of you who do not know, apostilled stamp is basically that red stamp that looks like a badge. So all three of us, both him and I's birth certificate and the baby's birth certificate are supposed to be apostilled, including our letter of non-impediment. And the letter of non-impediment is basically a letter that we get from the Home Affairs that proves that we are not married to anyone else and generally just not married. So we had to have those apostilled, and I think it slipped our minds. And then when we eventually did our research, and we found that it can only be done in, what do you call this place, you guys? It's so hot. Let me open the window a bit. We discovered that it can only be done in Pretoria, and it's gonna cost us like 870 per document, times by 5. You do the math. So basically, yeah, that's, and apparently it takes 3 to 4 weeks. So that's another delay, which is super sad. But it won't delay my partner, because the unabridged birth certificates, for me and my partner, we're only going to use them once we get to the Netherlands. But baby's one needs to have the stamp before the family visa can be applied for. And another delay is that Home Affairs still hasn't completed my letter of non-impediment. So that means the family visa can't be applied for. So there's two things delaying the family visa. It's the letter of non-impediment and the birth certificate, baby's birth certificate, that needs to have the apostilled stamp. Yo guys, we're discovering so much that we didn't know. We're learning so much about this journey, and I think that's why I decided to document everything, because I think maybe one day someone else might, go through this journey and they won't know what they're supposed to do, what they're supposed to have, and all of that, so yeah, basically that's what's happening. So we are currently delayed by another 3 to 4 weeks, which is really sad, because my partner is leaving at the end of Feb, because he's starting work on the 1st of March. So we were hoping we could leave. We could also leave at the end of Feb, or just the beginning of March, but it doesn't seem like it. It seems like we might be delayed by a 2 months period. So that's really sad, but it is what it is. Way too. Answer shiny, guys. Cape Town weather today it's hot, ne? But ilanga liphansi kwamafu, like the sun is like hiding in between the clouds, and it's cloudy but it's hot. So yeah, that's what's happening. So my partner has his MVV appointment today, so that's where we are. That's we came to Cape Town actually for that. We drove from PE to Cape Town. We got here yesterday, which was Monday. Got here yesterday around 4 p.m. Yeah, in the afternoon. So yeah, guys, that's where we at. I'm super excited for my partner because it means that, you know, things are just literally, you know, closer to being confirmed. Not confirmed, but the time for him to leave is getting closer and closer, you know. Excited for him, but super sad that we might only see him, you know, after 2 months or so. So yeah, and once he submits his forms for the MV appointment, we're gonna have to wait probably for another week before he gets his documents back. So yeah, that's where we are in Cape Town. Hoping that what's up? Hoping that it won't take us a week before he gets his documents back. But yeah, we'll hear from the Dutch embassy what they say. Yeah, guys, so that's what's happening today. If it does take less than a week, or maybe it takes like 3 or 4 days, we might just wait for the documents here. If it takes longer than that, we're gonna have to travel to Bloemfontein, which is my partner's hometown, so that he can spend some time with his family before he leaves. Then he's gonna come and have to fetch his documents back in Cape Town once they're done. But if it takes a couple of days, I think we're just gonna wait for them here. So yeah, that's the update, guys, and where we're at right now. Super exciting times, but super sad at the same time. Yeah, anyways, I'll catch you guys in the next clip. I'm so distracted. Hey guys, so I thought I should give you guys an update. I think the last time I shot a video was when we're still in Cape Town, and a lot of things have happened since then. Okay, so I am currently in Bloemfontein, at my boyfriend's home, which is also his hometown. We got here on Wednesday, and yeah, we've been here since then. He's here obviously to spend some time with his family before he officially leaves. From the last video from the last clip, we were in Cape Town. So basically what happened was everything went well with his MVV appointment, and coincidentally they said it would take between a day or a week for his documents to be ready. But then I think we were literally traveling from Cape Town to Bloem. We were driving from Cape Town to Bloem, and I think we were like 200 k's out of Cape Town, and he happened to go into his emails, and then he discovered that his documents were actually ready for collection. So it literally took a day. If we knew, we could have just stayed in Cape Town and waited for his documents, but then we didn't know that it was going to take a day. So in any case, we couldn't really turn back because it would have been a waste of time and fuel. So we just drove straight to Bloemfontein. And what's nice is that we discovered that you are allowed to send someone to collect your passport and documents for you, or send a courier to come and collect it. So that's really great. So we asked a friend of his to collect his documents for him, a friend who is in Cape Town, and then he's going to send them to us because apparently it was going to be quite expensive to ask a courier to go and collect the documents. I don't know why, but apparently I think it got to almost like 800 or almost 1,000, and we were like, nope, we do not have money to waste anymore. Not that anymore, but we do not have money to waste any further. Yeah, rather, that's what I want to say, because we already like in a financial constraint, guys. The money that we've had to spend just for this whole, you know, situation and preparation. So yeah, we're gonna wait on his friend to courier the documents back to us, and once he does, then my partner is going to book his flight, because he doesn't want to book his flight now when we don't know when he's going to receive his passport exactly. So as soon as he receives his passport and documents, and then he's going to book his flight, and then we're going to have to travel from Bloemfontein to Johannesburg for him to be able to catch his flight, basically. So yeah, guys, I just wanted to give you guys an update, and I guess I'll catch you guys in the next clip. The weather in Bloem. That time I only brought dresses and skirts, like summer clothes, because Cape Town was hot, PE was hot. Then when I got to Bloem, it's raining cats and dogs, and it's cold. It's like literally autumn. So that's been a bummer about being here, is that I didn't bring warm clothes, and it's been quite cold and rainy. It's only today that the sun has really come out, and I was so worried about baby also, because I didn't bring any warm clothes for him. But we actually managed to go and get him some warm clothes from the shops a couple of days ago. So yeah, guys, I just wanted to update you guys. I'm so tired. I need to take a nap, because the son is napping, so I need to take a nap while he sleeps, so that I can just rejuvenate myself a bit, and then probably prepare for supper. I think my boyfriend's sister is making some food. She's making supper, actually. So yeah, I made breakfast earlier on, so she's making supper, and then we'll have that at night and probably watch a movie and then sleep. And that's about it. But I'll catch you guys in the next clip, which is probably going to be a clip updating you guys once we've received my partner's passport, and probably on our way to Johannesburg or something, to the airport. I don't know. I'll let you guys know. Sharp. Hey you guys, so I thought I should give you a quick update. Today is I'm not sure, I think it's the 17th of February, but in any case, so what's happening is okay, first update is that we got a place to stay in the Netherlands, which is really great. We were sent our contract by our onboarding assistant, so we just need to go through it, because it's in Dutch, so we need to just translate it and then go through it and sign it once we are happy and send it back. So that's really great news, because it means we at least have accommodation. It's a blessing, guys, that we got accommodation, because housing is a very big issue in the Netherlands. There is a high demand and a short supply. There's a demand and supply issue in terms of housing, so it's really hard to get a place to stay. So we are so blessed to have found a place. I think we viewed a couple of places before we got accepted by the landlord to be able to rent out his place, and it's fully furnished, which is really nice. We obviously are unfamiliar with the place, so a furnished place will do for now, and then once we get used to the place and we know what shops we can get what where, and then we're gonna decide to get our own place and start buying our own furniture. So we got a place to stay, and then the other good news is that my partner's passport and his documents have been sent from Cape Town, from the Dutch embassy to Bloemfontein. So he just needs to go and fetch them from courier guys, or courier it, whatever, one of the courier companies that we used. So yeah, his friend who is in Cape Town managed to send them back to us, so that's really great. So now this means that my partner is definitely leaving this weekend, which is super exciting for him, but super sad for us, me and our child. We're going to be left behind until our stuff gets sorted. On the other hand, really stressful situation also is that seemingly my letter of non-impediment is just MIA at the Home Affairs. Like, I managed to call one of the local Home Affairs, and they gave me the number for the head office. Called the head office. I was told to send an email with my ID. They're going to try and what do you call this? What's this word? They're going to try and expedite it. But there has been no response from them, nothing. I'm trying to call the numbers that I was given. I was given a number of the specific guy. I called the guy. He told me to send an email with my details. Did that. When I sent him an email, doesn't he send me back an email saying that I must contact so-and-so with regards to this whole marriages and letter of non-impediment thing? And when I contacted that person and they don't pick up, I've sent an email, they don't pick up. So I need to call that guy again and ask him what's happening. Because that's literally the only thing that's holding back our family visa to be applied for. I need that letter. It's so frustrating, so stressful, so annoying. Like, I'm just honestly over it. But it's just one of those things that I need to just, I need to be strong and I need to remain positive and faithful, because at the end of the day, we have to push it to happen so that we can be able to leave, because we can't be in PE, or rather South Africa, for too long. So yeah, that's what's happening. There's something else I wanted. Oh yeah, and guys, God. So the other update I wanted to give you guys is that yesterday, this past week, we've been so stressed about our finances in terms of our relocation, because things were just not adding up. Guys, the maths was not matching. The mathematics was not mathemating. So we were really stressed because we were like, okay, it doesn't look like we're going to be able to fund ourselves for everything. And we were actually even considering taking a loan because, guys, we probably need over 100K for all of this. And that's not money that we have lying around. Okay, so we literally had an amount of money that is close to 100K, but it was not getting there. So we're like, you know what, there's no other option then for us to take the loan for the balance that we need. But then God being God, because yesterday I think been Goa and I was just going through a lot. I had a mini breakdown and I was just crying. It was in the AMs because my son woke up and he wanted to feed. I fed him. And then I just cried to the Lord because I was just overwhelmed with all the challenges we're facing, you know, in terms of our relocation and our immigration and just everything that I'm facing, you know, motherhood and, you know, financial situation and just adjusting to this new life that we're going to have and adjusting to the fact that my partner is not going to be with me every day, you know. So went to Goa, guys, and then I cried and then I just spoke to God and I prayed. And I was just like, you know what, God, I just leave it into your hands. Even this financial situation, I don't know. If we need to go and take a loan, we'll take it. But because the other thing we don't want to bother family members. Because yeah, as family members can be very dodgy. And then a couple of years down the line, they're going to be like, always hold you accountable, or kind of like you'll feel indebted to them because they'll always have this thing, even the fact that that person is successful now, it's because of my help. And I don't like that. That's why I like doing things by myself, because I don't like people who kind of like I have to be indebted to at the end of the day. Yeah, anyways, so I just cried to the Lord. And then guess what? Today, my partner received some of his funds from his previous workplace. So at least -1 problem, which is really great. So we don't have to take the loan. We're going to be able to use those funds to be able to cover certain things that we need to cover. So yeah, guys, that's the update. I think the next video or clip that I'm going to be showing you guys is probably going to be us traveling to Johannesburg for my partner to take his flight and leave for Netherlands. I'll catch you guys in that video. Hey, you guys, I greet you all in the name of a different province. Sanbonani, guys. So I am back in PE, just like that. Guys, I'm in a good mood because I don't have to work. But it's sad that I won't be getting my usual pay every month. But I won't lie, it feels so good to not have to go to work. And I think another thing that would have been really sad this month is the fact that I would have had to go back to the office, like physically go back to the office, because my work from home maternity would have ended on the 31st of Jan. So basically, as of today, I would have been at work and my baby would have probably had to have a babysitter, or I'd have to probably take him to nursery or daycare or whatever it's called these days. But yeah, anyways, guys, I am back in PE. We got to PE yesterday. My son and I got to PE yesterday we landed around 8 p.m. or just after 8, and we only got into the house, I think, after 9. No, around 9, because I struggled to get an Uber, guys. Ooh. struggled to get an Uber, and I was trying to request an Uber X because we had 2 suitcases, a medium one and a small one, and I had his stroller, and I had a paper bag that had stuff in it. Then I had a backpack, which is obviously his baby bag. So I struggled to get an Uber X. There were no Uber X's available from the airport. Then I requested an Uber Go, and a Datsun Go came to fetch us. And what's nice is that the guy, the Uber guy, said he remembers me because apparently he had taken me to my boyfriend's workplace at some point in time, which I don't remember. But I'm always taking an Uber because my car has gone for fixing. It's at the mechanic. So makes sense. I think he is right, because I have traveled quite a number of times to my boyfriend's workplace. So at least he knew where I stayed, which I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but trusting in God for that. So he managed to drop us off. He didn't remember where I stayed. Well, he didn't know exactly where I stayed, but he said he remembered when we got to the apartments, and obviously seeing my profile on Uber. And yeah, anyways, but I'm in a different province. I'm in PE. I think the last clip I shot, I was in Bloem, which is at my boyfriend's place or boyfriend's home. And now we are back. I don't know what this child is doing. Guys, sons. So I put that black and white book for him. I actually opened it, and I keep paging it after a couple of minutes so that he can familiarize himself with different shapes, colors, and scenarios. And this is what he is busy doing with the book. Oh, also he got his first haircut. Guys, yeah, my son's family my son's grandmother actually has been hounding me that we should cut his hair for like months. And I just got to a point, I'm like, you know what, let's just get it over and done with. So yeah, we cut his hair, and then yeah, for those of you who don't know, he's like 4 months now. Well, today he's 4 months. Not today, man. Like, currently he's 4 months and some odd. He's going into 5 months. He's going to turn 5 months on the 4th of April. Yes. But yeah, anyways, that's not what this vlog is about. Ooh, underwears. Sorry, guys. Let me just close that door. So as I was saying, yesterday was a very emotional day. I thought I was going to cry, but I didn't. The build-up of all the previous clips were actually building up to what happened yesterday. Not like finally, but yeah. So my boyfriend left for Europe yesterday. I don't know why this one is laughing. Must sit there. So my boyfriend left for Europe yesterday. We drove from, I'm just trying to look for my tea. I don't know where I left it. My house is a mess. Okay, I left it there. Okay, so we drove from Bloemfontein to Johannesburg yesterday. And we almost missed our flights. But luckily my boyfriend thought very fast, and he decided that we should, what do you call this? Also guys, my skin, eh? Bloom was not good towards my skin. My son had like a very bad rash on his face and his entire body. But I've noticed, literally we've only been here for like a couple of hours, but his rash has cleared. So I think Bloom atmosphere in J was not working for him, and it was not working for me, because the last time I had pimples was like before I was pregnant, which was like over how many months ago? Over 10 months ago, over 12 months ago. It's been a while. Anyways, 9 plus 4, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, over 13 months ago. Guys, yeah, maths. Anyway, as I was saying, we drove from Bloemfontein to Johannesburg, and then we almost missed our flights. We checked in while we were on our way there. When we got to the airport, first of all, guys, Tambo, Port Elizabeth, or now called Chief David Stillman. Guys, I don't know why they change the names of everything in PE. It doesn't make sense. It's so annoying. Like, Gqeberha. King Gqeberha. You don't need Gqeberha, guys. And then now it's Chief David Steerman or something. And it used to be so beautiful. Port Elizabeth International Airport. Is it International? Port Elizabeth Airport? I don't know. And then Port Elizabeth car, you know. But anyways, Port Elizabeth Airport compared to Oratambo is like, it be nuts. Like literally. It's like how do I compare it? You and yes, man, but like Port Elizabeth International Airport is tiny, guys. The airport is by. So when we got to Oratambo, we were so lost. That airport is so big, guys. I was just like, yeah. So we had to rush to, because my flight was leaving first, so we had to rush to sort myself out. So I had to check in my bags, check in everything that I needed to check in, and then we had to rush to my partner's airline. He was flying via Emirates. Then we checked in his stuff, and then we got a shock of our lives. They only allow you 2 times 23 kgs. And if you go over that, even if you go over that by 5 kg or 2 kgs, you pay the same amount of money you would have paid for 23 kg. So we ended up paying something around 3.6, I think, if I'm not mistaken, for an extra bag. Yo, unexpected expense at that time, Gesan. Asiplanelanga tu ke uglamali. But in any case, because when we calculated around 2,000. We're like, okay, if this is over like 46 kgs, then obviously we're gonna have to pay like around 2,000. That's how much we calculated. So to our surprise, it actually got to almost 4,000. Yeah. Anyway, so that was the another shocker. Then he did his stuff, checked in. Yo, guys, we were up and down. I couldn't even take a video because we were late. Then my partner lost his wallet, and then we discovered he left it in the car. So one of our family members had to rush back to look for it in the car. By the time we were done checking in and all of that, then we had to quickly go and buy something to eat as a family. Quickly eat so that we could rush back to our boarding gates. It was a mess. I literally didn't even have time to spend with my partner. Yeah, I might sound happy. I think it hasn't sunk in. It hasn't sunk in. It hasn't sunk. And yes, guys, I got register rishi, yabo. Because I think I was excited of getting to my place and just having my freedom again and just doing what I want to do. Yeah, because obviously you can't be free. I think I'm still excited about the freedom and just being back in PE because I love my city. But I think it's gonna hit me probably in the next day or two. Yes, I felt it yesterday when I had to sleep alone with my son. I was like, I miss my boyfriend. But yeah, I'm super excited and happy for him. Big life change. We did speak during the early hours of the morning because his flight was a connecting flight. So he was connecting from Dubai to Amsterdam. So he flew from Johannesburg to Dubai, then from Dubai to Amsterdam. So I'm just waiting to hear from him if he arrives safely in Amsterdam. Obviously, I can't communicate with him besides WhatsApp, and he needs to be able to connect to the Wi-Fi that side. So yeah, I just wanted to give you guys an update of where we are right now. Yeah, I'm still waiting for my letter of non-impediment from the Home Affairs. I'm gonna follow up this week like nobody's business. I'm gonna call once I get my car this week. I'm going there, giving them a piece of my mind. I'm going to fight for this letter of non-impediment so that our family visa can be applied for. I cannot be apart or away from my boyfriend for too long. And Gwaza, guys, no. So yeah, guys, I just wanted to give you guys an update. I don't know what the next clip will be about, but yeah, this is where we are right now, and I'll catch you guys in the next clip. Hey you guys, I don't know if the volume is if it's on loud and if you guys can hear me. Hope so. Yo, I'm feeding this little man here. Poop. Another update. My mood is really down today because of everything that has happened in the past 2 days. Yeah, okay, so I just got back from Home Affairs to go and do a follow-up on my letter of non-impediment. And I was so annoyed, guys. Like, I feel so frustrated. Like, ndinomsindo. Like, I'm really, really angry, actually. I'm really angry with... I'm angry about the things that happen in South Africa, nje, in general. You know, like, service delivery in South Africa sucks. Like, it sucks big time. And the saddest part is that they couldn't care less kubone how desperate you are, how urgent your situation is, or even abanayo sense of urgency. They don't have a sense of urgency. Like, they just don't have. They don't care. I feel like when it comes to public health, you know, Department of Labor, Home Affairs, anything that has to do with the government, guys, I don't know. I feel like, honestly, I don't know what could be done to make things better. But yeah, it really, anything that has to do with government sucks. Like, for simple, like a simple example, load shedding, you know. If you just think about everything that has to do with government in our country, like, I feel like they're failing a lot. Yeah, I just wish things were better, or things were different rather. But in any case, I got there and they told me that, just to give you guys a brief overview of what happened today. I woke up yesterday. I took off the braids that I had, that I obviously have on in the previous clips, and then I went and I washed my hair at the salon that I always do my, not always, but the salon that I do my hair at, that I usually like relax and treat my hair at, because I have two different people who braid me now. I have one at a different hair salon and one at the salon that I wash and treat and relax my hair at. So I went to wash my hair. My hair has a lot of growth at the moment, and it is due for a relax. Because I think it's been October, November, December, January, February. It's been 4 months of not relaxing my hair, and I'm not planning to now. I usually try and keep it like for like 5 months or 6 months, then I'm gonna relax it. Okay, guys, this video is like all over the place, and I do apologize. I don't know why I'm talking about my relaxer, and I don't know why I'm talking about relaxing my hair and my hair routine, whatever. But in any case, yeah, so I went to wash my hair today, and then I went to I went to the Home Affairs after that. Got there as per usual, waited in the queue, and only for them to tell me again that your letter doesn't seem like it's ready. So this time I was like, you know what, did you go finish? I just told that girl, I was like, listen, I've been here I don't know how many times, and this other lady has the nerve, guys, the nerve. Actually, let me say it in the South African way, the nerve. She has the nerve to say to me that, you like being here, ne? You like coming here, type of like thing. And I'm thinking, what the hell? So I then responded, I'm like, really? Do you really think I like being here? Because I don't like being here. Honestly, if I had another option, I would never come to this place ever again. That's exactly what I said to her. So yeah, I mean, I told her I'm here to check for my letter. She transferred me to someone else. That person checked on the system, and then they told me that the letter doesn't seem ready. So I just said to her, listen, I've been here for so many times, and I'm tired of coming here, and I'm tired of being sent back and forth and not having any direction regarding this letter. I said, can I please speak to your superior or your supervisor? Okay, underway again. Yo, guys, let me close that door. I don't know. Anyways, as I was saying, I've closed the door there now. As I was saying, so I asked to speak to the superior, and then she sent me to some other office, and then I got this lady, and I told her about my whole situation, that I've been waiting for this letter for 3 months. my boyfriend who I had applied with got his in like 4 weeks. I've been waiting for mine for 3 months. I'm being sent back and forth. I don't know how many times I've been there. I've even communicated with the people at head office, which is in Pretoria, at the Department of Home Affairs head office. Like, I explained everything to her, and I'm like, I'm not getting anywhere. People are not picking up the phone when I call. They're not responding to my emails. They're not responding to any emails that I'm sending. And then she's like, okay, I understand. And then she's like, okay, she's gonna take a copy of my proof of payment and application and a copy of my ID, and she's gonna do an urgent follow-up, and she's going to prioritize it. And then she's like, yeah, then would you be able to call me next week so that I can tell you what the progress is? So I'm like, I don't want to call on the landline because no one picks up that landline. No one ever picks it up. I was like, I don't mind calling you, but I'm going to need to get someone's cell phone number. And she's like, oh, no, it's fine. You can get my cell phone number. So she gave me a cell phone number. So basically, that's where we're at with that. I think I was very hopeful, and I went there with like a positive mindset and a positive spirit that, okay, maybe I'm going to get my letter today, but nope. Same old, same old. So yeah, we do have an option of expediting the letter through, there's a company called, I think, Apostle Services. They don't work with the Department of Home Affairs or the government. They're just a separate company that assists like in expediting documents or whatever documents you need from the Home Affairs. There is an option of us maybe trying to expedite the letter of non-impediment, but it's gonna cost us almost like 6,000. So yeah, it's a thing of now we need to weigh our options and see whether it's something that we are willing to do and maybe be broke for a couple of weeks. Or do we go for that option? Because the other problem is, even though they expedite the document, it doesn't really, they don't expedite it like, they don't cut the lead time like extremely. It's literally, they'll try and get it sorted in 2 weeks. Whereas there's a thing now we question ourselves like, okay, what if the lady manages to, put pressure on head office and maybe I get it before that. And then at the same time, we've already paid like almost 6,000 to have that other company expedite it, So at this point, the only option is that we should wait for the lady to respond next week or let me know what the update is. If there's still no direction, then we're just going to have to go with the option of expediting it and just suck it in and have to probably not eat and not have groceries or whatever. But yeah, that's where we're at the moment. Today's Wednesday. I think I don't know if I mentioned. I'm so grateful to God that we are done with our Dutch classes, because today it means that we would have had class. You guys, I'm so grateful to God because Ziyadika as a class, guys, I was so annoyed. Like, I think I got to a point where I was really, really tired of school, and I was really, really tired of, going through those classes because I just finished school. So I was like, okay, finally, I've finished school. I'm getting a break from being a student, and then this thing of having Dutch classes came up. So we usually we were having Dutch classes on Mondays and Wednesdays, but yeah, we are done now. Oh yeah, how can I not tell you guys the biggest update that I should be giving you guys, is that my partner arrived safely in the Netherlands. So what happened was, he was not picking up his phone. I think obviously because he was still in the flight. His flight arrived a bit later than it should have in Amsterdam. So, Usiswako cries. I cried, guys. Human trafficking. I really, really thought that he probably got trafficked or whatever, because his onboarding assistant who's supposed to fetch him from the airport is like, Natasha, have you heard from Tebucho? We haven't heard anything from Tebucho. Where is he? did he arrive safely? So I'm thinking, Aibo, I'm supposed to be hearing from you. How can you be asking me and I'm in South Africa? Yeah. So in any case, he got there safely. We've been communicating since he's been there. We've been WhatsApp video calling each other. He's been updating me, showing me pictures, videos, guys. FOMO. Like I feel like I could really cry right now because I really, really like miss him and I wish I was there with him and experiencing everything with him. He was also saying the same thing that I wish you guys were here. We were supposed to experiencing everything together, like, you know, our first everything together. Yeah, well, but God knows why the situation has to be the way it is. I won't lie, I really miss him. I think I'm starting to feel it now. It's been 2 days, Monday, Tuesday, it's been 3 days, Wednesday. And I won't lie, I really, really miss my boyfriend. I think more than anything, I just miss us spending time as a family. It's not easy. It's really, really not easy, especially having to take care of a child myself. So, say hello. Say hello, Winters. So yeah, I really, really, really miss him, Sean. I really, really miss him. But yeah, all in due time. I think that was about it. That was about it. Oh, another thing that I need to do actually is I need to you're gonna rip my pages apart. Yo guys, my baby's at that stage where he's able to grasp things, he's grabbing on things, he's putting them in his mouth, tearing things apart. Oh my goodness gracious me. And yes. But another thing that I wanted to mention was that I need to do another thing that's outstanding is I need to do a proof of relationship. So basically it's needed for the family visa. Basically need to put like pictures together, create like a love story type of like thing that proves that my partner and I have been in a relationship for a long time and that we are solid, yeah, and stable, I guess. So I've been trying to plan to do that, but I'm struggling being that I'm alone with a baby. But I'm going to try and do it today while he's asleep so that I get it sorted and finished. Guys, let me just attend to my baby. I think that was it that I needed to tell you guys for today. I'll catch you guys in the next clip. Hey guys, just thought I should update you. So, I don't know if you guys remember from, I think one of my first clips, there was a study desk and a study chair there, and there was a bookshelf there. Yeah, someone who bought them collected them this morning. I don't know how to feel. I feel relieved that they're gone because it means it's -1 stress, but I think I'm getting a bit sad because the house is becoming emptier. Oh yeah, and the coffee table is gone, and the carpet or mat, whatever, rug, yeah, it's gone. So yeah, it's getting realer, and yeah. Yeah. You know, I told myself that I won't pick up this camera, this phone and shoot, but yeah, I'm not okay. I really miss my boyfriend, and I'm trying so hard to be strong and to remain positive, especially for my son, because I don't want him to feel my energy, because you know how kids are, they can sense energy. So I'm just trying to remain strong, but there hasn't been any improvement or feedback regarding my letter, and I just miss my boyfriend so much. The house is getting emptier. the person who bought the couch is coming to fetch it tomorrow. So we won't have a couch to sit on. We're going to sit on that small sleeper couch. But the point I'm trying to make is that it's only been a week and I'm already like, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it, and I didn't think that I would be so emotional in just a week. And it makes me so worried because now I'm starting to wonder like what's gonna happen in like a month, or if I have to even like be here for longer than that. I'm just praying to God and asking Him to give me strength every day so that I can be strong. I keep on like affirming myself that this is not permanent, it's temporary, you know. This is just time that I get to spend with my son and watch him grow. I'm gonna be reunited with my boyfriend before I even know it. I just keep on repeating those words to myself every time when I'm feeling so anxious and when I'm feeling lonely and when I feel like I miss him. And I just keep on praying. And I'm just praying to God and hoping that once our visa gets applied for, it won't take long. Like, I'm crossing my fingers that it doesn't take like 3 months or anything like that, because I don't know how I'm going to survive. But yeah, this is where I'm at right now. I'm gonna do a follow-up again. I called the Home Affairs today and they said their system was offline, so they couldn't really check for me. So I'm gonna give them a call again tomorrow, and I'll also follow up with the lady who assisted me when I was there last week, because I took her number. So I'm gonna follow up with her also and see if there's been any feedback. Yeah, but this is not easy. I think it's even worse because we have a baby, and I'm wondering, he probably also misses the baby. And at the same time, I'm like, I actually thank God that my baby is here with me, because imagine if I had to go through all of this and I was just alone in this house. So in a way it is sad, but also I feel a bit relieved or a bit happy because my son is here with me, and it's kind of like at least just keeping me company and comforting me, and at least I just get to have someone with me through this time, even though he doesn't even really understand what is happening. But yeah, he's here with me. He just fed. He's currently sleeping. So yeah, guys, I'll catch you guys in the next clip. Hopefully it will be good news. And just like that, the couch is gone. I really don't know how to feel about that. I think I mentioned before that I am relieved that things have been bought and are getting bought, or are being bought rather, but it's a question of now what happens, where do I sit? But yeah, there is a small sleeper couch that I am going to put over there that baby and I are going to sit on, obviously, in the meantime. I'll show you guys a clip quickly. Yeah, the person who bought the couch just collected it like a couple of minutes ago. So yeah, it's getting realer. So this is currently our living room / couch / seating area with my baby. Yeah, I've opened that small sleeper couch. I'm actually grateful that we didn't sell it with the couch, because we were initially planning to sell the sleeper couch with the couch that we had. But yeah, a family member said they wanted it, so we didn't sell it. And then I was like, okay, thank goodness we didn't sell it, because at least now I get to have something to sit on. So yeah, this is the arrangement. That's my baby's playing area. That's where I sit when I'm watching TV. Yeah. Hey guys, Yo, I am so angry and so frustrated and so stressed. I realized that I forgot to actually tell you guys about this last week. There's a clip that I shot last week where I said I'm feeling so stressed or I was angry or whatever. And I think I forgot to mention this because there's just a lot happening in my life right now. So I just came back from having my hair plaited by Natasha as per usual. But the point I'm trying to make is that, guys, I've got so much stress going on in my life. Besides the fact that my letter still is not solved, like I'm so furious and I don't even know what to do anymore. Like I feel so defeated because I'm being sent back and forth. I don't know how many people I've communicated with from the head office, yes, the Home Affairs, which is in Pretoria. I've called, I've sent emails, I think about 4 different people that I've called, I've sent emails. There's just no one who's willing to just sit their asses down and just literally compile this simple letter. Guys, this letter is so simple. I'm going to insert a clip to show you guys how simple this letter is supposed to look. It's not even funny, guys, like how simple it is supposed to look. It's like the simplest letter you could ever type. I don't know what is so hard for them to just do that one thing, ka from na. Besides that, the fact that my car has been giving me so many issues. Guys, like I was praying prayers while I was coming back from Duka, from the hairdresser. My car literally just, it does a thing where it just decides that it doesn't want to move, or it moves extremely slowly, and then it's like there's what do you call it, like see, like there's like not, don't know in English, there's like smoke coming from my exhaust pipe, and then it does like this sound where it's like like it's kind of like blowing up or something like that from the exhaust, and then it struggles to move. It's even worse when I have to go on a hill. Like literally now coming back home, I was praying, guys. I don't know how many prayers I made. I'm like, God, can this car just get us home at least? Car, that's all I was praying for. Like I was like, I don't care even if we get home at 7 o'clock at night, can we just at least get home? I forgot to actually share with you guys that my car came back from the mechanic. It was with him for a month, guys. First of all, how it got to him is that it did the same thing this other day, guys. It just decided that it doesn't want to move, and at that time I'm on a hill, imagine, and then there's smoke coming out from my car, like from the exhaust. So I had to ask, I actually got an Uber. I Ubered back. I decided to just stop the car in the middle of nowhere. I Ubered back home, and luckily I was blessed with a very kind Uber. He helped me tow my car back from the place I stopped at back home. So from that day onwards, I was like, okay, let me just get this car to the mechanic, have him fix whatever needs to be fixed so that I can get it sorted and I can have a proper car, especially being that I've got a child now. I cannot be traveling in such a car where it's just going to stop in the middle of nowhere. Nevertheless, got a mechanic. He came. You know how they almost, they promise you the world. Once you pay for the parts that are needed, it will be sorted in 2 or 3 days, maximum 4. You'll get your car back. Blah 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 blah. Guys, I paid 9,500 and some odd, first of all, for the parts that need to be replaced in my car. And he took the car. He what do you call it? My son is crying. I'm coming, guys. Anyways, as I was saying, I forgot the word, man. Oh, English, guys. The whole, but it's to inspect, ne? Like we inspect him order. Yeah, he took it and he inspected it. Then he's like, no, okay, this is what needs to be fixed. It's gonna cost so much. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna take like my last money that is in my other savings and just give it to him so that I can get this car sorted, because I don't want to be struggling to travel around. Yeah, but especially being that I have a child, I need to have efficient transport. Paid him the 9 point something thousand for the parts that needed to be fixed. Then it was story after story, week after week, guys, when I wanted my car back. Mind you, he promised me it would be done within 2 or 3 days. Then it was, no, there's something wrong in the engine, then this is not fitting on it, Then he needs to take it back to engineering. Then they need to take the block in and then take the block out again, take the engine into. Guys, it was story after story. As a result, it was like over a month. Came back with my car after I was fighting with him. I was like, I want my car. Came back with my car. He's fixed a few things, but even those things, I'm not sure if he's fixed them. The only thing that I could tell that he's done is that he's replaced my clutch kit. Car comes back. The thing that's causing it to just decide to slow down when I'm driving or just decide to stop is the main thing that I wanted to be fixed in the car. He didn't fix it. Then he comes and tells me that it's going to cost me 12,000 to fix that. On top of the 9 point something that I've already paid him for. Yo, guys, my anger. I was so pissed, guys. I was so pissed. I gave him a piece of my mind. And one thing about me, I am vocal. I gave him a piece of my mind. I was like, dude, I've paid you 9.5. You never mentioned anything about this thing costing 12 point when you took my car in. You inspected my car. You told me what needs to be fixed. I paid you. Then the next thing, you're coming back with my car. And then you're telling me this other thing is going to cost me 12. I was like, for that reason, can you please... Actually, before that, I had asked him previously that he should send me... when he brings my car back, he must bring back all the parts that he's replaced in the car. That was literally, I think, the same day he took the car or the same week. Ne? He comes back, he doesn't come back with the parts that he's replaced, and then he's telling me this. So I must say to him, I'm not going to pay you your money for your labor. Bring back all the parts that you replaced. I need to see that there's proof that everything was replaced that I've paid you for. Guys, up until today, he's never brought my stuff back. He's never brought the parts yet. And I told myself, I'm not going to pay him for his labor until he brings back the parts that he needed to replace in my car. I need to see the proof. I don't care even if he goes and fetches them at a scrap yard or whatever. I'll verify from my side, but I want the parts back. Because now I'm not even trusting that he replaced everything he was supposed to replace. At this point, I just want to get rid of the car, to be honest. I just want to sell it. And the problem that I'm facing right now is that I was going to sell it back to We Buy Cars because I bought it from them. And when they sold it to me, it already had issues. I feel like car dealerships and mechanics take advantage of women because they think it's dumb and we don't know anything or whatever. Yabo? Because when I bought the car, it had issues already. But I think at that time, they were not that bad. So they didn't really reveal themselves in a way. Now that I've had it for over 2 years, now the stuff are like literally showing themselves. And now if I take it back, oh yeah, I went to We Buy Cars. I told them that I'm going to sell my car back to them. And so I was like, okay, let me fix everything that needs to be fixed so that when I take it to them, at least it doesn't have any issues. Now, with this main issue, I doubt I'm even going to get much from it. And at that time, I still owe the bank on this car. So you can imagine I'm probably going to get nothing out of it as a profit, like literally close to nothing. Yo, guys, like, there's just so much happening. At this point, I just want to honestly just get rid of it. But my other concern is how am I going to move around without a car? But at the same time, it's a thing of what's the point of having a car if your car is not even going to be able to help you move around? Because now I'm paying for a car that I'm not even utilizing to its maximum ability, you know. Yo, like, I'm so frustrated, guys, like in dinner stress. And yeah, honestly, I'm at a point where I feel like I'm just going to sell it so that I get my name off it and I don't have to pay for it anymore and just get rid of it, honestly speaking. If I have to Uber around, I'm just going to have to Uber around. There's no other way. Because guys, I'm worried. It's going to get to a point where it just stops working at all. And then what's going to happen after that? So, yeah, that's where I am. Like, zininzi stresses, guys. Yo, I'm just literally going through so much in this season of my life. But yeah, I just thought I should update you guys. I'll catch you guys in the next clip. I hope it's going to be a clip that's going to bring some good news and positivity, and I won't be rambling about my stresses. Oh, yeah, I hope so. Bye, guys. Hey, guys. A bit of exciting news. No, I still don't have my letter from Home Affairs, but a bit of exciting news is that I don't know if I mentioned in my previous clips that my boyfriend was staying at a Airbnb since he got to the Netherlands, because he was only going to receive the keys to the apartment we're going to be staying in today. So it's a really exciting day because today he's going to be moving into the apartment that we're going to be staying in as a family. Yeah, so I'm super excited. Really sad that I can't be there, but I'm really excited and happy that at least we gonna officially have, you know, a place to stay. Because yeah, the Airbnb that he was staying at had a lot of issues. Like like there was just a lot of the service was very poor basically. So yeah, so he's really happy to also be leaving. Like they didn't have a microwave, or the microwave was not working or something like that. So he struggled to warm food. Like there was just a lot. But in any case, that's besides the point. The point is that he's gonna be moving into the apartment today, and then we're gonna have a Teams call, so they can show me around, make me feel part of the process. Yeah, so I'm just excited about that. And yeah, guys, I guess I'll catch you guys in the next clip. Okay, so I thought I should let you guys know. To cut a long story short, it would cost me 1,500 to expedite the letter, and the lead time is 7 to 14 working days. I was like, I am going for it, because I was adamant of taking the previous company that we used for our previous business, actually, that we used for our DIRCO stamps for our documents. They were quite expensive because they were charging me 5,500 to expedite the letter, and with them it was a 2 to 4 week a lead time, and that's even like a what do they call it? It's not guaranteed. Yeah, it's a possible waiting period. So I was like, no, I'm definitely going for this one. So I've paid. I've sent them my proof of payment, and basically now we wait. I'm hoping it takes less than 14 days. Hoping it takes just this week. Hopefully I get it by Friday. I don't know. I'm crossing fingers at the moment. I don't think I'm gonna shoot any more clips after this. I'm literally only gonna shoot again once I received once I receive the letter. Yeah, I think the next clip will be me holding the letter in my hands, and yeah, that's about it. I'll catch you guys in the next clip. I think it's evident through my joy and my smile that, guys, I finally got my letter. I don't know why I'm moving closer to the camera. Okay, I know why. I'm whispering because my baby's on my back and he's sleeping. So that's why I'm whispering. Guys, I finally got my letter. We are getting closer and closer to finally leaving. Okay, so this week Nje has just been a mess. Okay, so firstly, I finally understood why God didn't allow me to leave at the same time with my partner. And this happened, I think, sometime last week. It just literally hit me that there is so many things that still need to be done, and there's so much that still needs to happen before I leave. And for the first time, I was actually okay with, you know, the whole arrangement and not being with my partner. I think God revealed so much to me. Like there's just been so many admin and, you know, basically tasks that need to be completed before we leave, and I don't think we would have managed to complete them in the time frame that we had for us to live together at that time when my partner left. So God just revealed that to me, and it brought me so much joy and peace and contentment. And I was like, okay, God, I know you're God of, you know, order, God of perfection, so I know this is not a mistake. And I've just been so content, and my heart has been at peace because of that. Now I know why I'm still here, because guys, there's just been a lot that needs to be done. Yeah, there's just a lot of admin that has that I've been doing since I got back from Bloemfontein, like since I've been in PE, and since my partner left. I think it's been a month now since we have been apart, or since I got back to PE, or since he left, actually. Yeah, it's been a month since he's left. So with that being said, yeah, I just got to that point where I was like, okay, I know eventually we're gonna be together. It's just a matter of time. And more than anything, um, I think I prayed to God sometime last year that I'd like to attend my graduation. But after this whole job thing to Europe came, I was like, okay, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to attend my graduation. And I was like, okay, if ever I have to leave at the same time with my partner, I'm okay with it. It's okay. I won't attend the graduation because obviously I would choose that over staying in PE and attending the graduation. So I was like, okay, it's cool. If we have to leave before, I'll leave. And it hit me last week that God is so gracious. He's such a God of love and consideration, even with the smallest, most insignificant things, things that you might look at and you might think, ah, maybe God laughs at this and maybe he won't take it seriously. Maybe it's not as important, to God as it is to me, but that's how God is. He's such a gracious, kind God. And God was like, I'm going to allow you to go through it all. I'm going to allow you to experience all of these blessings and good things, including the smallest and the ones that you think are insignificant. I want you to experience all my goodness. That being said, I'm going to be attending my graduation. And I think I'm super excited for this one because it has come at a time where I'm more matured and I'm more stable financially. I can get myself stuff. I can prepare for it properly. I can look exactly how I want to look. I can experience the moment fully. Whereas with my first graduation, I wasn't working. I had just gone out of varsity. I was struggling. I was going through a lot mentally and emotionally. Yeah, I think I was just literally in a depression state. So even with my outfit, I had to accept whatever was bought for me because I couldn't have a say in it, because obviously someone else bought it for me. And generally, I didn't really feel like celebrating, my first graduation because there was just so much happening in my life at that moment, and I didn't see any good in the graduation, I would say. So this one, I literally like feel excited about it. I can prepare for it properly, and I've worked really hard for it. Like honestly, like I've worked my ass off for this. And more than anything, my partner, guys, oh, I'm so grateful for him because I wouldn't have achieved this without him. Honestly speaking, like no cap. So yeah, anyways, hey guys, God. So what happened was earlier last week I called Home Affairs to check on my letter, and then I think I was told that no, I'm lying. I called Pretoria. Then the Pretoria branch, I'm getting distracted, sorry. The Pretoria branch told me that my letter was ready. Okay, this is after, right? Previous clip where I paid 1.5 to expedite the letter. Nevertheless, called on Monday. They said the letter is ready. It can be collected at the Home Affairs. So I was like, yeah, exciting. Then I called the PE Home Affairs. I think, yes, they picked up, and then they checked. They said the letter's ready. Quickly got into my car, rushed. While I'm driving, I'm praying to God. I'm like, okay, this car better not do what it does where it just decides to go slow, stop. Cool. Rushed to the Home Affairs, got there, and when I got there, there was a strike. So there was literally no one at work. And it was just dead quiet. And apparently the security guards were telling me that no, the union people came and chased the employees out of their offices, blah 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 blah. Yo guys, my heart just sunk. I was just like, really, like, just when I'm tasting, the goodness, and then it's being taken away from me. I honestly I almost cried because I was just like, I don't know what's happening. Like, I feel like there's a dark cloud over my life because I'm just like, this letter is already delayed by 4 months. I've had to fight with people. I've had to pop out money to expedite it. And now this is happening when they told me that the letter is there. I just need to get it into my hands, and now there's a strike. And I'm thinking, when is the strike gonna end? I don't know when it's gonna end. So I just got to a point where I was like, you know what? Let me just trust in God and let me just calm down. Trust in God and let me just know Guti. He knows what he's doing, and there's a reason. His delay is not his denial. There's a reason why things are delaying. So nevertheless, I just calmed down. Then I was like, okay, I'm just gonna check on them maybe on Friday, yabo, and see if they opened and they're still operational. Texted on Facebook, asked people, guys, do you know if the Home Affairs in town is operational? No one answered. I was like, just like, okay, goodness. Then something told me, but like literally, I wasn't expecting good news. Something just told me, you know what? Because my son has had his doctor's appointment today. So I was like, you know what? Let me actually wake up early and start there, so that if they closed, I can just literally go for my son's appointment. Or actually, I wasn't expecting them to be open. I honestly thought they were still on strike, especially because I tried to call and they were not picking up. So yeah, I requested an Uber because my car, guys, is literally like 5'2", dying. I was like, okay, you know what? I don't want to travel with this car anymore because it's honestly gonna end up stopping in the middle of nowhere or on the highway. So I left my car, requested an Uber, went to the Home Affairs. Guys, when I got there, I saw people sitting outside. I'm just like, thank you, Lord. Yeah, so got there, got inside. I told myself I'm not gonna be sitting in queues. I went straight to the front, gave the lady, one of the ladies, my letter, my proof of application. Yo, guys, then she started searching in different boxes and she wasn't finding it. I'm like, no. And then eventually she went at the back and then she came back with a white paper in her hand. I'm like, thank you, Lord. So yeah, then she came, she called my name, she gave me my letter, and that was about it. And I got my letter, guys. I can't obviously show you guys because there's my ID number on it. Yeah, but basically it is the same as the picture that I had on one of the clips. So yes, so yeah, what's gonna happen now is that I need to scan this letter and send including the proof of relationship to our onboarding assistant, so that you can check if she will be able to apply for our visa in the meantime. And then tomorrow I'm gonna go and courier this letter to the Apostle Services for them to DIRCO stamp it. Then I'm gonna receive it, I think, after 4 weeks or 3 weeks. My biggest prayer at this moment is that we are able to apply for the visa, for the family visa, without this letter being DIRCO stamped. Because if ever we need to wait for this letter to be DIRCO stamped, that means I'm going to have to wait for 4 weeks. Then I can only apply for the family visa. But if ever they're able to apply for it in the meantime, then it can be applied for, and then I'm just going to receive my letter back once it has been stamped after 4 weeks, and then I'm going to leave with it to the Netherlands, because I think the letter needs to be stamped only for the municipality in the Netherlands. So I'm not sure how it's going to work out. I'm going to update you guys, but I'm crossing fingers, because if the letter, if the visa can be applied for now, that means by the time I receive the letter, I will probably have received feedback regarding how my visa application has gone, and that means that there's a huge possibility I might be leaving in the next month, which is super exciting. And it was actually what I was praying for, that at least we leave maybe like by the end of April, because obviously my graduation is on the 14th of April, so I get to attend the graduation, and then after that I get to leave. So yeah, anyways, so as of tomorrow, also I had applied for my license disc. I had renewed my license disc, so I got a call today that it's ready for collection. So I'm gonna go and collect it tomorrow, and then once I collect it, I am sending my car in at We Buy Cars for evaluation. I'm literally selling it, guys. I'm good in the grand. I'm gonna be Ubering around. My boyfriend and I calculated, and it's actually cheaper for me to Uber around wherever I'm gonna need to go, or maybe use Bolt or InDrive or whatever, compared to me having to pay for this car, pay the insurance, pay for fuel, pay for oil, and it's just standing here and I'm not using it because it's so frustrating, guys, when this car just decides to go slow in the middle of the road and people are hooting at you, shouting, screaming, swearing. And I understand their frustration, because it's annoying when you're coming at a high speed and then the car in front of you is just moving with 20. So I'm tired of that drama. I'm tired of being stressed while I'm driving with a baby because of a car that just decides to just be slow or stop. So I'm just gonna sell that car and get whatever I can get from it and pay off my West Bank loan for the car, and then that's done. And then yes, super exciting. So yeah, I just thought I should give you guys an update. the long-awaited update. Yeah, I think the next clip will probably be me sharing with you guys when the car is being sold or when I'm dropping it off or whatever. I don't know, but yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next clip. Baby country. So I figured that every time when I'm giving you guys an update, I'm always like literally like up close to the camera, and I'm never really doing anything. So yeah, I thought, why not just maybe put my phone up in here, have it on my tripod. Can we just talk about the efficiency of the Checker City? Guys, ever since I started buying checkers, guys, or doing like online groceries, I don't even go to the mall anymore. I literally only go to the mall if I'm bored and I feel like doing something. Like I feel like being out of the house rather. Then I'll go to the mall. My son is there on his car seat. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see him. Screaming his lungs out. Because he wants me to pick him up and I'm trying to pack these groceries. So anyways, the purpose of this short clip is to just tell you guys about yeah, the whole procedure and process about selling my car. As you can tell from the previous clip, my car is gone, guys. We Buy Cars has bought my car back from me. Well, I bought it from them. So they bought it back from me. That's why I'm saying that. So bayithathile imoto. Uzo wahle. Okay, let me just take this one. So I wanted to show you guys what I bought actually. Pilchards, yogurt, aromat, bought some chocolate. I bought this. I drank it before and I really enjoyed it. So I'm gonna have that as cool drink during the week, because I'm avoiding like too much juice and as a cool drink. Bought some toilet spray. Yeah, and then I just bought some spinach and some veggies. How sweet, Shem, they had this as a gift, I think, because I didn't buy this thing. Yeah, oh, yes, and I bought myself a bowen slice. I really hope it's fresh and I'm going to enjoy it because I was really craving for it. I'm on my period, so yeah. I'm PMSing and I'm craving a lot. Oh my gosh, it's so wet here. Guys, I don't know what's happening in this kitchen. It's just a mess. But in any case, so yeah, long story short, yesterday I had the We Buy Cars app on my phone. So you can buy and sell a car from the app. So I literally contacted them. I had previously contacted them when I thought I was going to be able to leave at the same time with my partner, but then we had to cancel the whole process because there was a lot of uncertainty about when I was going to leave, so I couldn't complete the process with them. So I contacted them yesterday morning on the app. So what they usually do is they ask you to take a picture of the license disc, the barcode on the license disc, then they'll ask you to take pictures of the car, upload them. The app has like steps that guides you basically on what to do. Then someone gets in contact with you to ask you a few questions, and then after that they'll set up a meeting for someone who's going to come to evaluate the car. Then once the car is evaluated, they will then contact the management and finance team and basically see what they can offer you for the car. Or they do ask you basically what you would like to get for the car. Then based on how well the evaluation goes, they'll tell you like what they can offer you for the car. Then if you accept, they basically leave with the car same day. So what happened with me is that the guy who came to evaluate the car was had system issues, so he had to go back to the branch to go and basically kind of like what do you call this, he had to go and do the application. Yeah, he had to go and do the application at the branch and then come back. But because yesterday there was this whole EFF striking business, they didn't have any logistics people to come and collect the car. So the people came today. Yeah. So basically it was a very quick process. It happened like I would say under 5 hours. He came, evaluated the car, was honest with him about everything, that I've been complaining about in my previous clips. Told him what's wrong with the car and what's good with the car also. And yeah, he said no, it will probably like decrease the price that they would buy it by. But it won't decrease it that much. Yeah, bro. So because the car is quite in a good condition. So yeah, basically that's what happened. So then we drove with him. He obviously test drived, or took the car for a test drive, and then came back. And then because he had system issues, we couldn't complete the thing here. He did it went back to the branch. Then he gave me a call and told me what they were offering me, and it was actually way more than I anticipated, especially considering the part that needs to be fixed in the car. The main issue actually, because I thought they might really drop that price that I was actually asking for. So yeah, long story short, I accepted. He came back, completed the application, I signed, and basically guys, that's how quick it was. Yeah, and then obviously because they didn't have any logistics guys, then they came to fetch the car today. My son loves it when I talk. He always stays. Yeah, so then they came to fetch the car today. Yeah, and just like that, Unalina is gone, guys. Those of you who don't know, I actually named my didn't even realize that this TV is on. Just hold on, guys. I was saying, for those of you who don't know, I gave my name a car when I bought it. I called it Unalina, which means God is with me. Yeah, because it was such a sentimental moment when I went to buy my car, and my car generally was yeah, my car holds a very close place in the heart, because I bought that car when I was like desperate, and I had just gone through so much in terms of public transport, and I just got to a point where I was like, you know what, I just got to a point where I was like, I'm just gonna go and buy this car. What happens after that, only God knows, because I was tired of going through drama, public transport, and having to struggle and all of that. So it was sad. I thought I was gonna cry actually, but I didn't. So it was sad, but for me it's exciting because it also means now things are really moving. So yeah guys, I just thought I should update you. That's where we are. I don't know what the next clip is going to be about. I feel like I keep on saying this in all the clips, but yeah, I don't know what the next clip is going to be about, but yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next clip.
2,000 years later.
You guys, I just realized that, okay, I'm lying. I didn't realize. I've been saying that I'm going to pick up this camera and give you guys an update, and there's just thing after thing after thing, and I think it's been almost like 3 weeks later. But yeah, let me not even delay or ramble unnecessarily. Let me just tell you guys exactly where we are now, what is happening. So, oi, come. Okay, so based on the last clip or the previous clip, but fast forward, what happened was the letter got sent. We sent the letter off to get stamped with the DIRCO stamp. Sent the letter off for that stamp, and then we were supposed to wait for us to receive. We were supposed to receive the letter first, and then we could apply for the family visa. But what had happened was that our onboarding assistant, she said she's going to apply for the family visa. Then once I receive the digital copy of the LONI, the DIRCO stamped LONI, she's going to then upload it on the system, basically update and remove the old one. But she said that she would rather have us upload the correct one because it could also delay our visa from being approved unnecessarily. So she applied for it, and we were still waiting to receive the stamped LONI. And guess what happened? Okay, so before that, I remember I was sending my boyfriend pictures because there's a group on Facebook. I think I did mention in the previous clips that I joined about like people wanting to immigrate to the Netherlands. So people share their stories there, you know, their approval, their visa approvals and all of that. And basically people advise each other, but there is an admin that answers all questions that are brought to the table and so forth, and questions people have. So I kept on sending my boyfriend screenshots and saying to him, yo, how I wish this could be us. You know, when people post their yeses and their visa approvals and whatnots and whatnots. And my boyfriend kept on saying, just calm down. Our yes is coming. And I think it was a very, very, like, what do you call it, anxious time, because the visa could take as quick as a week, or it could take as long as 3 months or even more. I know on that group there's people who have waited 296 days, guys, and I was just like, please God, this better not be us. So fast forward, we were still anticipating like a couple of more weeks of waiting, because we still were expecting the DIRCO stamped LONI, and then, you know, we thought we would actually have the visa process going and then wait for the response. But then, God being God, the day before my graduation, guys. Okay, so what happened was on the 28th of March, our onboarding assistant said she's going to apply for the visa. And then once I get my digital copy of the LONI, I'm going to send it to her. Then she's going to upload it on the system. Then we're going to have to wait for a response. Cool. So she applied for it on the 28th. And then I remember just praying to God. I'm like, God, please, please, please. After grad, at least something must happen. There must be some positive news, because then nothing is actually holding me back from leaving PE. Like, I couldn't by. Then the day before grad, doesn't my boyfriend send me a text message saying, believe it or not, I'm going to insert the picture here. He says, believe it or not, the visa got approved. Guys, it got approved in 14 days, in like 2 weeks. And how? Because my letter of non-impediment that we applied to the visa with is not apostilled, but God being God, guys. So long story short, got approved day before grad. Grad was beautiful. Like, it made everything just so perfect. Like, it was kind of like a signed, sealed and delivered type of like situation, you know. Now the thing is, I need to go for my MVV appointment. So our onboarding assistant booked the MV appointment for the 8th of May. But now the thing is, I need to take the DIRCO stamped LONI to the appointment. I can't go to the appointment without it. Hey guys, now I'm putting pressure on the Apostle Service people that they need to send my LONI. They need to send my LONI. And I need to receive it before I leave PE, because I can't leave PE without that LONI. So I've been putting pressure on them, because my fear is that we've already booked our flights to Johannesburg, and I don't want to leave PE without that later, because there's no way I'm going to get it if I leave PE without it. Then I sent an email yesterday, ne? Yes, putting pressure on them that, guys, I am leaving PE next week. I need that letter. And guess what? They sent me an email saying that they're going to collect it today. And then they're going to be shipping it to me. They're going to be couriering it to me. So I should receive it sometime next week. So once I get that letter, guys, it's done. Good guys. There's nothing else that is holding us back at all. And I'm just like, thank you, Jesus. I'm so grateful to God. Like, his timing has been so perfect. Everything has just been falling into place. Sorry. Come. So yeah, as I was saying, nothing is holding us back after I get that. We have booked for our flights to Johannesburg. We're leaving on the 8th of May, on the 6th of May, which is on Saturday. And then On the 8th of May at 10 o'clock, we've got our MVV appointment. And then we are crossing fingers to get our passports back by the Thursday, hopefully, so that we can leave by the Friday, the 12th of May. Ne? Yeah. But yeah, if we don't get them before that Friday, it's not a train smash, but it is. Because, guys, I'm so over this whole thing. I just want to leave and just get to the Netherlands, be settled, be with my man, and just start living my life and get back to normal. Yeah, but yeah, that's the plan. So yeah, let me show you guys. So we are already packed. We're already packed. Okay, so I should update you guys. So we are currently in the process of doing viewings for potential tenants to stay in our apartment. So basically that's what's been happening, doing last minute admin, last minute errands, selling the last of the stuff left. That's basically been my life the whole past 2 months since my boyfriend left. But yeah, we are leaving. Our last night sleeping here is next week Wednesday. Yes. Then on Thursday, no, next week Thursday, ne? Then next week Wednesday. Then on Thursday and Friday we're gonna be sleeping over at a B&B, because obviously we need to be out of here, and obviously clean and then have the inspection done. So we're gonna be sleeping at a B&B with my brother so that he can assist me. And basically after that, Saturday we leave, and that's about it. But yeah, guys, I'm super excited, super excited. I'm so grateful to God that I managed to pick up my camera and give you guys an update. I think the next clip will just literally be us handing the keys over, and then after that it will probably be us leaving PE, probably at the airport or whatever. But yeah, guys, I'll catch you guys in the next clip. You guys, my letter is here. Yes. You guys, my letter is here. My letter is here. It's official now. It's really official. Fiki letter, guys. What did you forget? Hey, I don't know, Martin. Oh, you found it, ne? Guys, some really great news is that our passports are ready for collection. I got an email earlier on this afternoon to say that our passports are ready for collection. But the thing is that they only allow for collections between Monday and Thursday and between 10 and 12. So I can only fetch our passports on Monday. And then we are leaving on Wednesday. We've decided that we're going to take a flight on Wednesday because it's going to be a public holiday in the Netherlands on Thursday and Friday. So it's going to be easier for my partner to fetch us, and it will be such an advantage because at least we'll be able to have a long weekend with him, so that he can show us around and, you know, basically familiarize us with the house and all of that. So I don't want to cry. I can't believe that we're here. Like, it's so unbelievable. I really, really can't believe it. Like, time has gone by so fast. And yeah, I can't believe we're here. I don't even know how to feel. I've been feeling so overwhelmed and sad. Overwhelmed by, you know, the changes, the fact that I've left PE and I'm not going to see PE in like a very long time, which is going to be so weird for me, because that's where my whole life has been. Overwhelmed also because I'm currently in Johannesburg, Gauteng. Gauteng, yeah, I'm in Gauteng. I'm in Boxburg, at my best friend's place. We've been here since we got to Johannesburg, and I think I've been overwhelmed by that, all these changes, and it's really, really taking its toll on me mentally and also my son. I think just the whole thing of waking up in different environments and different places, you know. But I'm really glad that it's almost over. I've been sad because I miss my man so much, and I honestly can't wait to just get to the Netherlands. So yeah, I'm really, really excited. I just can't wait to just get there, settle, and start my new life. So yeah, just an update, guys. So our passports are finally here. I would love to show you guys the sticker. We are ready. I have booked our flight tickets. So what happened was I was in a predicament yesterday. I almost booked with the KLM Airlines, but it was flipping expensive because they were not allowing you any free checked baggage. So you literally had to pay for all your baggage, and I've got 5 bags. But by God's grace, so what happened was I had money in my FNB account and money in my Capitec account. So I transferred the money from my Capitec account to my FNB account so that I could have enough money to pay for the flight tickets. So I think it took 2 days. Strange enough, it usually takes a day, but it took 2 days this time. And with that being said, it delayed me from booking that flight. And then the next day I was looking on booking.com and I saw this other flight that seemed more reasonable. But it was a connecting flight, which was what I was avoiding, being that I'm traveling with a baby. But then I was just like, you know what? It is what it is. I think for now, what really matters is being cost savvy and for us to try and save as much cost as we can. So I was willing to take a connecting flight, and then I was obviously looking for one that has a very shorter layover period. Layover period is the amount of time that you're going to spend in the specific country that you're going to be waiting at for your next flight. Flight was perfect because I think it had a 2.5 hours layover time. It was affordable, and it allowed me 2 times 23 kg bags, and it allowed my son 1 times 23 kg bag. Cool. And then I don't know what happened. Oh yes, I was supposed to actually call them to find out if our luggage goes straight to the Netherlands or is it going to be dropped off where I'm going to be connecting from. So my partner was like, no, don't book it yet. First, call them tomorrow just in case you have to drop off with all your luggage, because that is not going to work out. Because now I'm going to have to be pushing baby's stroller, then I'm going to have to be pushing the suitcases. Then, God being God, the next morning I wake up, I go into booking.com. Lo and behold, there is a beautiful flight ready for us to just book. The one that I wanted to book was with Turkish Airlines, and then there was a perfect one with Qatar Airways. So it had a very short layover time, which was 1 hour and 20 minutes, shorter than the other one. It allows both of us 23 kg bags, 2 for me and 1 for baby, and it was actually the cheapest. So I was like, you know what? Oh, and the time that it leaves from Johannesburg was perfect. So I was like, you know what? I'm taking this flight. I'm not even doubting it. I'm not second guessing it. And so I booked the flight, guys. Long story short, I've booked the flight. We are leaving tomorrow. Our flight departs at 9:25 at night. My partner's family is coming tomorrow to see us off. My son's grandfather, grandmother, and his aunt. Super excited to see them, and I'm sure it's also going to do good for my son, and also for us to take pictures so that he can have memories as he grows older, in case we can't come back in December this year. So yeah, that's where we are. I think now I'm excited because everything has just fallen into place so beautifully, so gracefully. God has just been such a God of mercy and grace, guys. He has literally pathed this way for me to walk on. He has paved it. He has directed me. Spirit of discernment has also helped me a lot in my decision-making process. So I'm really, really grateful to God that we are here, and I'm just praying for further safe flight and until we get to the Netherlands. So yeah, guys, I think the next clip will probably be us at the airport, and then from there, I think the next clip will probably be us in Doha, because our connecting flight is going to be in Doha, and then from there it's going to go straight to Amsterdam. So I think I'll catch you guys tomorrow. We are in Doha. So we get guys. Oh my God. I can't believe that we have traveled safely. Finally. China Juju. So Sophie, like, guys, we are finally in the Netherlands. Now, Justa. Hi, Justa. We have arrived.